And we're back once again. Ron, what's the date?
Today is August 29th, 2019. It's a Thursday. We got the day off. We got
Day
the
off.
same day off.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Believe it or not. So, welcome back to the show. Before we get started, Ron didn't even know, but we do have a website that you can keep up to date with us. It is at the end of our intro every day, though, Ron.
Who knew?
Who knew it? We're going to give it to you real quick here. So, watch our cool intro again if you want. And then just kind of keep up to date with us. You can watch episodes from right here. It'll send you right to our YouTube, stuff like that. And you can even get in touch with us. So swing on by to the beadvisedpodcast.com.
Please get in touch.
Yeah, let us know if you want, what kind of topics you want us to cover, or if you have any ideas for the show, we welcome them. All right, so today is going to be kind of a catch-up, just me and Ron today. No special guests, which we will have a special guest, our friend Marco, on Sunday.
Marco Glass.
So, yeah, that's right. 2 episodes in 1 week. I know usually about once every month, but we're going to get you some more content here. And we're going to talk about 5G and some of the scary things that could come along with dropping a whole new wireless network on top of our heads.
Does Marco think? Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want his point of view until we actually get him in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
So today we're going to kind of, like I said, catch up. We've been hearing a lot about this. Well, not really hearing a lot about it. I think it's finally starting to pick up in the media, but the Amazon wildfires, if you want to call them wildfires. Some have raised the question of, is this them just clearing land to make room for more cows and stuff like that? Did you hear that the Brazilian Prime Minister wanted nothing to do with our aid money? We tried to give, the forces combined of the world tried to give them like $23 million, and he refused it, saying the money could be better spent in Europe and stuff like that.
I did hear that, and I didn't know that this was all going on. I was kind of late comer to this, so you probably know a little bit more about it than I do, because when you try to look up things on this topic, it's all mainstream media. You're not, and I take mainstream media with a grain of salt. Donald Trump's right. It is fake news. You have to fill in the blanks because they leave a lot of blanks to fill in. So the story, the official story, is that, first of all, this guy, Bolsonaro is his name. He ran on the platform, is what they say on the news, of not clearing the land, opening it up to development. So this is very suspicious that he ran on this, and suddenly you have 26,000 fires, they said today. On this Thursday, the government blames farmers, and the farmers blame the government for starting these fires, or not starting the fires but letting them burn. There's no evidence yet that the government is purposely starting these fires, not that I've seen.
Well, I don't think it's government. I would think it's like maybe it is the government, but they're going through like a third party militia type of deal, or it's just the corrupt corporations that are doing this, because that's not unheard of, right?
Right.
Yeah. Don't really know what else to say. It's just was really weird how they weren't covering this at all until pretty recently. Ever since they denied the aid is kind of when they started talking about it.
Right. Well, and that's the way
infrared.
That's the way that the media works. They're going to cover this for a while, and they're gonna send reporters there, and they're gonna go find some woman or something that lost her home from the wildfires, and she's gonna have her kids there, and they're gonna go, "What are you gonna do?" And she's gonna go, "I don't know." And they're gonna go, "This poor woman," and then they're gonna send some aid, and then they'll just stop reporting on it, and it'll continue, and people will forget about it. This is just a hot topic of the week. That's a really bad pun. I really didn't mean to say that.
What was?
That was stupid.
This week's hot button.
Yeah, that was a bad choice of words, but
Pun intended.
But I guess stop saying
Well, it's not much has really been released about it. As you can see, even when we type in some pictures. Ooh, look, Amazon fire. When you Google it, this is what you get.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
That should tell you right there about our society that this would be trending on top.
You didn't even mean to do that.
No, I was just trying to pull up pictures. Yeah. That's pretty funny, though.
Thank you, Google. Yeah. You insensitive cocksuckers.
You probably have to type in,
Or,
of course.
That's Forrest Gump, man.
Forrest Gump.
But this does sound familiar. And we have touched on this before. Agenda 21 is a thing that a lot of conspiracy theorists point to when you see something like this, because it talks about controlling forests and oceans and rivers, and it is a plan for a global mechanism for global control over all industry and where people live, and they don't really care about the environment. This is a mechanism for them to, in the name of environmentalism, do whatever they want. So they'll force, for instance, we owe like $8 trillion, something like that, to China.
China.
We
gotta get a China button or
believe me. Okay.
China.
And my father and I talk about this all the time. At some point, the Chinese government is going to call in that loan, and the U.S. federal government, or somebody with the UN maybe, could use this control mechanism to go, okay, you owe this much money to China, give them your national parks or something. In the name of environmentalism, we have to get everybody off the national parks. Everybody has to live in a city. And then they'll just set up a mining operation. They don't care about the environment. They care about paying off debt. And this could be what this is. And
so they're going to clear the land and then, farm it
and then sell it off.
But send it off to their country.
Right. And you think, listen, $1 trillion is a lot of money. You get people to do almost anything for $1 trillion. You want to, we'll give you $1 trillion if you start a bunch of fires and burn up the Amazon so we can take that land. All right, fuck.
Right, but they wouldn't be paying the people setting the fires.
Here's my account number.
That much money,
No, I'm just saying as a round number.
Right. So yeah, you brought up Agenda 21. You brought this guy here. Let me find it.
It's right there.
It's right here. There you go. Bam. There it is.
So just read some of the sections here.
Well, you'll first start off noticing, like you said earlier, where this was.
This was authored in Brazil.
In Brazil. Ironically. Weird.
In 1992. This was something that we got on board with.
All right. Well, this is pretty dense. You want to just kind of summarize here?
Well, I mean, go back up to the chapters or whatnot and just read some of this. The first thing, international cooperation to accelerate sustainable development in developing countries and related, what does that say? Domestic policies. So, cool. And then they go through. We're all friendly. We're here to help. We're going to combat poverty. We're changing consumption patterns. Huh? Regulation. You can look at some of these things and sure they sound great, but changing consumption patterns may mean you don't have a car anymore. How about that?
Right.
Like, so this was the first Green New Deal, so to speak, during the Clinton administration. And
I like how they have global action for women towards sustainability.
Yes. For women, not men.
And children and youth.
Children.
Yeah, it doesn't say
There's
men
no
in
men
here.
in there.
There's no men in here.
We get to die. See. I haven't read this as much as I should. I'm using it in argument, and I'm honestly telling you I haven't read it that much because it's a lot of legalese. When you read it, it's very dense. But you get enough out of it to know that
Oh, but see, they're trying to combat deforestation.
Combat deforestation, right? In the Amazon. Sure. What they're trying to do is,
but they're
because the indigenous people live in these areas where these fires are at.
Right. So they're not. If they are doing this, and it's not because our ecosystem does have a way of fires are healthy for it, and
right.
It's like circle of life type of deal. But
well, what if that's part? Hold your thought there. But what if that's part of it? Because they've not permitted people to do these type of burnings that would help, because that's what they do in the Grand Canyon. They burn all the brush so that if a fire does start, it doesn't get out of control and you get 26,000 fires.
Right.
But they have not permitted people to do that because it's bad for the environment. It's CO2 emissions. They're just waiting for it to take off like this. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, it's like a natural thing, but it's not a natural occurrence in the Amazon. Like those trees have no self-defense mechanism to combat fires, against their photosynthesis flesh.
Photosynthesis?
Photosynthesis.
Well, now you just said something that CNN said. Is that really true?
No, I saw that on.
Isn't there
another? Just some dude on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't come from like the actual media. But they would be saying it's a natural occurrence. Don't worry about it. Overlook this.
Well, there's a fire season in the Amazon. It's right now.
Yeah,
it's
just not
starting.
like this.
But it's not like this. But, when it gets dry, a thunderbolt can start a fire. It hits a dry tree, that's it. Bam. You're going up. So it is a natural thing.
Yeah, but in this magnitude?
Not in this magnitude. That's what's...
What did you say? 26,000 fires?
That's what I heard today. They said
individual fires. Well, I mean, I'm sure if you just count each bush as a fire, you could count up real.
It's
quick.
a vast area, man.
Anyways, 26,000 trees on fire is a lot too.
That's another thing. It's such a vast area. You're gonna need an army of planes with that slurry shit to put that out.
Yeah.
It would be like a bombing campaign during World War II. You're going to need plane after plane after plane after plane. Okay. And it's telling that this guy, Bolsonaro, first said, hey, we don't want any aid. Why not?
Yeah.
Because you want that
ground
cleared?
Do you think,
is that why?
Do you think it's like 50 Cent for... I don't know. You probably don't
rapper?
know. Yeah. He's all about getting his money by Monday. Like he'll just be out in the club and just like hand someone $5,000. And they think it's just all part of like fun and games. Oh, thanks. And then he'll publicly humiliate them until they pay back his money plus interest.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why would he
the internet loves it though.
So he just hands somebody money and then goes, you owe it back
Plus interest.
and
I need it by Monday.
All right, well, that's prison mentality right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I gave you a
Maybe,
candy bar, now I'm going to fuck you in the ass.
Maybe, I think you were talking about maybe Brazil owes someone money. There's a backlash.
Maybe.
And that's why he's like, no, I don't want to take your money because...
It's like a mafia move. No, we're okay. Everything's okay.
Yeah. Like, we don't want any help. Don't come digging through our books or anything type of deal.
Here comes the fucking Clinton Foundation.
Yeah.
That's what's next.
The Clintons. We got to do a whole episode on just the Clintons. Do you know any Clinton experts?
That would fucking trip me out if the Clinton Foundation came in and
did what they did in Haiti, right?
Helped with the fires, helped give aid, and then all of a sudden you got a textile factory in the middle of the Amazon forest, and they putting people to work for pennies a day, or a tire. They probably got rubber trees there.
If that comes out true, you're hearing it first right now on the B of I's podcast that we called that shit.
That's just where my conspiratorial mind goes.
Yeah.
There's probably rubber trees there. They may have a fucking rubber tree plantation. That's what happened in Liberia in the 90s. Firestone had a rubber tree plantation there, and they ended up warlords ended up taking over the area, and they ended up housing them and helping them so that they could keep the fucking rubber plantation. That's a side issue. I'm just telling you what millions and millions and millions of dollars will do.
Well, did you just see they recently there was a proposition here in Arizona to get stop the light rail and whatever.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, I obviously think it's, a thing, so we use more car parts and blah, blah, blah. That the same thing that happened in the 20s when every major city had trolley cars, and then Firestone came in with big bankers and rolled out the buses and marketed it as you can go, off streets and blah, blah, blah. And then they undercut the pricing of the trolleys.
Right.
Just for a year until most people swapped to buses because it was cheaper.
And then
they
bankrupted the system.
They bankrupted them, and they bought them and dug them all out of the cities.
I don't know. I understand that corruption, and I don't want a corporation per se to be under, us to be under their control. It should be even. Capitalism and the government should be even and not colluding. But I really like my car, man. I want to fucking. Yeah, but would it be nice
if you had the light rail everywhere, though?
No, fuck that. I don't want to fucking sit on a goddamn train with a bunch of fucking people I don't know.
You haven't been there for the convenience.
Can't drink on it.
Try telling that to the people here that
can't carry a fucking gun.
Every time I've been on it, people are hella drunk on there. Save money on Ubers. You don't get DUIs. I think there's a lot more benefits.
And I don't drive around pissed drunk, but I like to have a fucking drink when I'm driving sometimes. I like to, I like to be heavily armed.
But you wouldn't need it though, because there's no road rage there's obviously people on the light rails, but
yeah, there's rail rage.
But you can here in Arizona, you can keep your gun on you in there.
What about a long gun? What about if I want to fucking carry my AR-15 and
you need that just for protection around
800 rounds
going
of ammunition?
Shopping on Sunday?
You never know nowadays.
Having brunch and you just
got to Walmart and there was fucking 10 people got shot at fucking Walmart. Why can't I have mine? Anyway. But that's why I like to have my car. But don't break into my car.
Yeah. Cool. So
I'll actually get some excerpts from this, and we'll go into it again later, of things that sound like they're trying to help, but they're not. They're using environmental language for social control. That's what they're doing.
Social control. You're here first. All right. Anything else on Agenda 21? There's
no. That's all. You can just anybody can get this if you just look up Agenda 21 PDF. It'll come right up. You can download it, and you can You can read it for yourself. You can decide if I'm full of shit or
Well, it's not like,
if I'm onto something or.
but like these things all like kind of start to link together. I was telling you before the show about the Georgia Guidestones.
Right.
And that is, if you break it down to its kind of core.
Geico.
It's
I love when you start
core.
typing shit in.
Terrible
And
at
it's like
spelling.
George Strait, George
I'm
Carlin,
so terrible. I just freaking go.
George Lopez, George Harrison.
That's the great thing about technology.
George Guidestones. There you go.
See?
Conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory.
Um,
It's not a conspiracy. It's there. It fucking
it's
says
there.
that shit.
It's there.
Nobody knows who built this. Nobody's claiming responsibility for building this enormous
So yeah,
thing.
keep clicking over here. These were erected in Georgia, like Ron said. No one knows who did them, but they're massive. This is obviously going to stand the test of time, unlike most of the things we build today. But in, I figured, 7 different languages or so, it gives a rundown of like the perfect Earth situation type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it says the max amount of people that is sustainable for Earth is 500 million or 1,000.
It should be on there.
I don't know.
Click through, and I think it's 500 million, but that's probably
I want to say it's might
85%.
500,000. Sorry if you're just listening. We really do suggest
what's
that.
this one here? I don't have my fucking glasses on.
There you go.
500 million. So that's probably a 90-something%
Let me see,
reduction in
balance.
population. How are they going to get rid of 90% of the population of the Earth? How are
Yeah,
they
this
gonna do
isn't
that?
anything ancient or anything. Obviously, improving fitness and diversity. But this
Diversity, like we're going to kill every type of person.
Yeah, we don't want to. We're not just gonna have the Aryan race here left.
We're going to kill
500
everybody.
million. Yeah. But it with Ron's Agenda 21, it's looking at sustainability, and actions on how to act upon it and accomplish it. And this kind of,
Guide reproduction wisely.
unite humanity with a new living language.
Right.
And that kind of all goes to the main umbrella, if you will, of the New World Order. Boom, boom, boom.
Have you ever seen the images of this thing? Somebody flew a drone over it, and it looked like a bunch of blood splattered on the top of it. Did you see that? Look for a drone above Georgia Guidestones.
People actually did this.
Fuck
people
New World Order.
Pissing on it and stuff. See?
If that's
I can't
piss,
even-
that's like a 20-foot tall stone.
Well,
If
what
that's
you
piss,
could no. What
Jesus.
they probably did is pee in a cup and then. Poof.
And then threw it.
Yeah. See. That'd be crazy if you.
But
just
yeah,
did that.
it literally. I don't know if it's real. It's on the internet. It could be.
Right
There
here.
it is, right there. Looks like somebody was sacrificed on that
Jesus.
motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Huh?
No kidding. How come I never heard about that part? Is it just recently they did that?
Yeah, within the last couple of years.
I mean, no one's really took a ladder up there and just looked.
Because
why
I
is there
think
this,
'they're like 18 feet tall or something like
this
that.
hole or this is this dude's way of getting rid of evidence. Like he killed someone on a stone and then.
Well, it's blood sacrifice for if it's a cult.
Yeah, but
if it's a cult type thing, that's blood sacrifice.
Maybe does the cults
Could have been a lamb. Could have been
are, Masons.
one of those missing kids.
Oh, crazy. Jesus,
William
you'd be able
Cooper.
to see that from the side.
And what's all that shit?
I don't think that's real. I think that's some.
You think somebody drew photoshopped that in? But that looks
Yeah.
just like blood. I miss William.
I can't believe
Cooper.
people are actually drawing on it and shit. That's so. Yeah, I guess it is a. Hey, everyone! Let's. It's really meant to let's unite and make a better world. But obviously, you see, there's
Which again sounds like a great idea, but they mean to do it for the elite.
Correct.
Not for us.
Correct.
What's that? What is it pointing out?
It's like that hole that's in the top of it.
That's so the blood sacrifice can drip down.
Yeah.
I like in the movie Conspiracy Theory, they just name everything that's actually going on and call it a conspiracy.
Oh, you can always find conspiracy in anything.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of what we do, but we do it for the fun. It's not like we're gonna start an uprising.
Oh, I'm gonna start an uprising.
Until you have to get
In the time.
you have to get the shirts first.
Oh, yeah, you got to get the Be Advised podcast shirts. Be Advised podcast channel. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I look at things too closely. This Amazon fire thing could just be a natural. It could be tied into remember when Chris was on here and he was talking about electric universe, and we have had a lot of ejections from the sun and things like that lately, apparently.
Yeah.
What if this is a natural cycle?
What did you say?
And this motherfucker is burning down because it's... Oh, yeah. The... where was it?
So we want to talk about this when Chris gets here, but we just had a crazy thunderstorm last night. It was very active with lightning.
Right here in North Scottsdale. Me and my son sat up for an hour watching it, and it scared the shit out of me a couple times because it was hitting close.
So where was it that you sent me?
I don't remember. Romania, or it was another country. It was like in Germany or something, or Romania or Germany.
Well, tell them what we're talking about.
So a couple days ago, more than 100 people were hit by lightning in the same area at the same time, and they said it was just an incredible lightning storm, just like Chris Johnson was telling us would happen at some point, but on a global scale. And 4 people were killed by this lightning.
4 people were killed, but 100 were struck.
Over 100 were struck in the same area at the same time. Fuck, I can't remember what.
I got it right here. I'm looking it up.
ASMR. UK struck by lightning 20,000 times during overnight storm.
I'm trying to find it.
It's not coming up. It's coming up on your phone, but it's not coming up.
It was in Florida.
It's this one right here.
That one? Little 20-second guy?
Oh, maybe not. See, you can't even find it now. They don't want you to know, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing about these videos. If you don't exactly type in the exact thing, just the way YouTube and Google prioritize the clips you see.
Oh, yes. I texted it to you, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Suspicious. Let me see what it looks like. Here, everyone, you can watch it from... No, just kidding. I'll pull it up here. Talk about something wrong. We got dead air. People listening here.
It's all right.
Yeah, lightning.
Most people watch us, right?
Lightning will... it even on the Apple Podcast app, it has the video playing, which I thought was pretty cool.
I was going to say, do I wear a black shirt every time?
Something
for no
rare
reason?
seen from ice.
And Suspicious had a colon after it. Like the headline was, or something like that. I don't know.
How much of this do I think we can watch here? Skip the ad.
This is not an...
It's not an ordinary treadmill.
5 p.m. Mountain Time, 2019.
I
Guys,
like.
in this video,
hold on,
I've got several interesting topics I want to cover. We're going to start over here in Europe, in southern Poland, where a rare lightning storm has occurred today, Friday the 23rd, and they're declaring an emergency over in southern Poland as a result of this very unusual lightning storm. Story was shared with me by Terry out of Ohio. Thank you, Terry, from usnews.com.
I cut back and
Today,
forth
August
between us so we don't
23rd,
get hit with the mark.
2019 at
Strike.
11:56 a.m.
This dude's cool. I
Polish
follow this guy. I
emergency
like him.
official has likened the lightning storm over the Tatra Mountains, and that's where I just showed you, right in this area here. I guess it's a very popular destination for rock climbing and mountain climbing. Well, today, a very intense lightning storm injured more than 150 people, and unfortunately, 5 people have perished.
5.
So it was
due to a
worse than I
lightning
said.
Storm. It's got
That's
Polish
considered a mass
officials
shooting.
Suspicious. That is highly
From God.
highly unusual.
Got to outlaw God.
Shows a picture here. It says rescuers and a helicopter checking the slopes of the Guidestones Peak for missing persons and anyone who might need help in the Tatra Mountains in Poland. Friday, August 23rd, 2019. 3 people are still missing in southern Poland after fatalities occurred during a thunderstorm with multiple lightning strikes hit the Tatra Mountains, fatally wounding 5 people and injuring over 150. You can find the article linked below in the description box. One link below in the description box. Got many new photos at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery. Had one shared with me a couple days ago from a gentleman by the name of Jeff B.
And he moves on after
that
this.
He noticed from the International Space Station's live webcam as it was flying over the North Pacific Ocean. He noticed these unusual lines out over what even happened. And I totally
All right, yeah. So
I like this guy, Mr. MBB333, whatever it is. Take that skip trial. Take that off there so you can see the dudes. Give him a plug for his. No, yeah, this guy right here. I don't know. It's stuff like that you see that you go, I don't think they know what's going on with the climate. They will tell you that it's CO2 emissions from humans for 2 reasons. Number 1 is they want control over all humans, period. Number 2, if they really told us the truth is what is really going on with the climate, it would cause mass panic. If they said, listen, we're going through an earth cycle and we don't know what's about to happen. You're going to have worldwide fires and electrical storms and coronal mass ejection from the sun that'll fry all electronics. And if they came out on the fucking news and said, we've been lying about CO2, it's really this, the whole world, people would stop paying their fucking mortgage. You'd see rioting, looting, killing. So they tell you a fancy little lie to make you feel guilty and to have control over you, so that when this shit really goes down, they can get more control over you. The more worldwide fires that we have, the more hurricanes that we have, the more electrical storms that hit and kill a bunch of people, the more they can say, see, it's you. You're the one fucking up the environment. You can't have a car anymore. You can't have a house anymore. You can't even go to work. We're going to give you universal basic income, and you're going to live in a fucking apartment the size of this room, and you're going to have your coffee brought to you by a flying drone, and you can't leave town anymore. Like, it's going to come to the point. I'm going to make a prediction where if you live in a city, you're going to have a permit to go out of the city. There's no more, hey,
yeah, that's in a lot.
Hey, honey, let's go to Flagstaff for the weekend. No.
It's in a lot of, have you ever seen the movie Divergent, I think it's called? You can't, there's, huge roadblocks everywhere leading into different cities and stuff. And if you don't have a certain social status, you can't pass those borders.
Well, no, I haven't even heard of that movie, but that's the plan.
The movie's not that great, but
and they're showing you the plan through a movie.
It makes sense, though. That's
what they do. They engineer these these systems for you to live in that you can't get out of. And then once they engineer it, they release some kind of movie or something, or make a joke about it on Saturday Night Live, and then they roll it out and they implement it. And then if you complain about it, people go, "That was a movie, you fucking idiot. It's not real." Yeah, it's real. It's happening.
Do you hear that Trump wanted to like try to nuke hurricanes?
That's got to be an Onion article. Are you serious?
No, like he actually wanted to. Yeah.
Oh, well, if that's CNN.
Well, I just wanted to see
What's up, Fredo?
what would happen. Man.
Did you see that thing? Is this Divergent?
No.
Oh.
This is if we nuke. Well, that's just nuking the whole planet, not even just a hurricane.
Every year, about a half a dozen hurricanes reach the United States.
Did you see that thing where that guy called Chris Cuomo Fredo? And he freaked out on him?
Are hurricanes? Well, tend to
Look that
blast
shit
out
up, bro.
all the hot air and bring in cold air, which is denser.
Thank you,
Cold
Mr.
air
Science.
will slow down the wind and stop the hurricane.
Woohoo!
Okay, we have our nuke and are ready to launch it.
It's like a jellyfish.
There it goes.
Yeah, okay.
This isn't. Is this real?
The hurricane is still there.
Oh.
Dang it. He sunk my
reason nothing would
battleships.
happen is because of the amount of energy a hurricane produces. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the heat released from a hurricane is equal to a 10 megaton nuclear bomb exploding every 20 minutes.
What?
In 1990,
The heat?
all of humanity used 20% less energy than a single hurricane produces. So the average bombs of
That's
today
interesting.
would hardly make a dent on a hurricane. Not only that, the hurricane would carry
It always
all
comes
that
from there.
radiation, plutonium, and other civilization-destroying materials from the air down to the land. As if a regular hurricane wasn't bad enough. we now
That's
have
a new
radioactive
movie like
As
Sharknado.
it moved across America, it would destroy cities with its wind and water.
Oh,
Nukano.
Luke Kano.
Nuka Cane.
Oh,
This time, we'll use
so what's up with Russia too? Didn't they just have another?
energy and force to stop
Um,
a hurricane? You'd need more
How
than
come you can play
100
this
atomic
YouTube
bombs.
video and you can't play others?
To keep it
I'm
simple,
not.
let's
See?
pack
Oh, never
all
mind.
going
Sorry, I
back.
didn't mean to say that. We didn't play any YouTube videos on this program.
Such a massive bomb.
Well, have you heard that nukes are not even real?
I have heard that one.
Now people are saying nukes aren't even real, and that Walt Disney created the nuclear explosions in the 50s.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't
that's a
believe
whole
that.
nother conversation.
I don't
too.
believe that, by the way. Go talk to motherfuckers that
if
are
you-
80 years old that lived in Japan
Right, right. Yeah.
all their life. They will tell you a motherfucking nuclear bomb is real. But no,
I guess it's the way it's an actual atom bomb exists compared to just a shit ton of like dynamite or something.
yeah. Look up,
But
real quick, look up, what were you doing in Russia? With Russia?
oh, remember how they had that? You sent it to me like their gun factory exploded.
Yeah.
Initial reports, and then
That was crazy.
it came out that wasn't it another nuclear reactor?
I haven't been following that story, but there was 2 explosions the same day. One of them in Siberia, and the ambulances taking the people away were wrapped in fucking stretch wrap, dude. Is that what you're gonna show?
Or I'm trying to show. Yeah.
Show the explosion.
3 weeks ago. Yep. That's one.
This is a motherfucker right here, and there's only one reason why they would wrap a fucking. Look at that shit.
So they first claimed this was
It was a weapons depot.
Yeah. Right. Look at. Hear that?
Look at that fucking shockwave, bro.
Oh shit! Yeah, I haven't seen these ones.
And there's only one reason why they'd be wrapping a goddamn ambulance in stretch wrap, because they don't want radiation trailing behind the fucking.
Right. If it's a weapons depot, that's just like a storage
Look
for
at
weapons.
that. That's
right?
a cop. Are you fucking kidding me?
They don't
How
have they don't have the rigorous training as our cops do. I
Rewind
guess.
that shit. Rewind that shit. Yeah, I'm a police officer. This motherfucker's been eating potatoes and vodka for dinner every night for the last 40 years.
Potatoes simmered in vodka. See, I mean, I would expect something like that from ammunition, you know?
Well, this is
like
just another
fireworks.
explosion.
Right.
from
But
that shockwave one, looks like a nuke. That's an atomic reaction, it looks like to me. Or nuclear reaction. It's not atomic anymore, right? I don't want to sound like some dumbass from Texas. Look at that shit.
And there's radiation in the air.
Yeah, I think it's supposed
So
to be.
now they say it's a rocket.
I think .10 is normal.
Oh, well, that's not 1.8.
But removed the statement. No official explanation has been given. Local residents are stock Greenpeace reported radiation levels.
He's got a green screen. He's not even fucking using it.
Is a big problem with responsible attitudes to radioactive waste.
They're just going to put him, like, on the scene.
In general, it's
Speak
not
English.
so important.
That would be interesting if we saw, like, them actually use this as like...
Put the explosion behind him.
Yeah. I could let you know there's no explosion. And then explosion behind him.
Well, no, this is a guy from Greenpeace. He's going, yeah, they fucking
Oh,
fucked
you know
up
what,
again.
Ron? You know
What's
what I
that?
saw, too?
Well, real quick, dude, look up Chris Cuomo Fredo.
Chris
Cuomo from fucking CNN. Right there. Right there. So some guy, click this one. Some guy called Chris Cuomo Fredo in a restaurant, and he threatened to throw him down the fucking stairs. And Chris Cuomo will forever be known as Fredo now because of his reaction. He could have just waved and said, all right, whatever. But now because he did this shit, he's Fredo.
Throw him down the stairs. The man apparently called Cuomo by the name Fredo, referring to the fictional character from the Godfather films, which led to this confrontation.
I thought that's who you were.
I thought you were Fredo.
Oh, you hear that? Hold on. Did you hear what he said, though? He didn't say, I'm a journalist.
I'm an anchor, yeah.
Did he say anchor? I thought he said actor.
It does actually say that he says, it sounds like he says that, but yeah, that's you, Fredo.
My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
He said actor on CNN.
It was that weak brother.
Not a journalist.
Any of you Italian? Are you Italian? It's an insult to your people. It's an insult to your people. It's like the N-word for us.
All right, tell that to a black guy and watch him smack the shit out of you.
Yeah, get out of here.
Don't people know that when you react like that nowadays, there's social media and you're gonna get fucked with.
I wonder if I can even see it here.
What do you?
I wonder if I saw it on Live Leaks or not.
News anchor reports school shooting before it happens.
Yeah. She gives the report of the school shooting, and then she says, "Oh, that hasn't happened yet."
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. I'm sure they probably scrubbed it by now. But
See, you should be taking these videos, man.
I should be.
Which one was it?
It was just like a local one, I think.
No, which shooting? Was it the Parkland shooting?
Maybe the Walmart one. Maybe it wasn't a school one. So maybe
Mass. Put mass. MASS.
yeah, I hit it twice.
Well, I know we're going all over the place with this one, but I do want to point out that the day that the documents were going to be released on the Jeffrey Epstein thing,
Yeah, tell me about that.
the day that they were going to release all the names of the people that are implicated, that are very powerful people, we had 2 mass shootings within 12 hours that day.
Say that again. Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, here it is.
Horizon. I'm not sure what time this tweet went out. However, okay, here it is at 3 p.m. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so today is the third. This is 30.
Yo, fucking steal that video, man. Get that off there.
Tweet at the Walmart in Horizon. I'm not sure what time this tweet went out. However, okay, here it is at 3 p.m. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so
We got another 20 minutes before this shooting starts, so if anybody's in the Walmart...
She was reading a tweet. She said the tweet came out saying, there was a shooting. So whoever tweeted out probably the first reports of the Walmart shooting was a tweet.
Yeah, but doesn't Twitter put the time on there?
Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't even show you guys here.
Twitter puts... I don't twat, but does it...
at the Walmart in Horizon. I'm not sure what time this tweet went out.
At least 19 people killed.
Okay, here it is at 3 p.m. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so today is the third. This is 30. Okay, here it is at 3 p.m. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Okay, here it is at...
Yeah, I thought that one was weird. Maybe she read it as it was like Eastern or different time zone or something, but
Maybe. That hasn't happened yet, though. I do think that some of these mass shootings are engineered and steered. I think there's some MK Ultra afoot. Don't you agree?
yeah, we'll kind of get to the MK Ultra with Marco a little bit. It'll just be a little side note, but I think that deserves its whole episode.
Right. Because that was a real program. And they said they stopped it. I think that they just renamed it something else. And it still goes on today.
All right, that's, I guess we can...
Wrap. Today's wrap up.
So yeah, we were all over the place today, but like I said, it was just a kind of an update episode of what weird things we saw today, or the past month, I guess.
We're what do they call it? Topic fluid. We're fluid topic.
Fluid.
Like fluid gender.
Fluid gender.
Just go back and forth. Just whatever we want to say.
Yeah. Like I
Good
said, Sunday we'll dive into 5G with Marco. He's a
Can't
IT
wait.
guy, so I want to hear what he's got to say about it and what we can present him with what we found. Like, here's a little snippet. I saw an article where they started putting up the 5G tower networks that they need to put up. That, they kind of look like they'll hide them too, like palm trees
Make
and
them
stuff
look
like
like
that.
a palm tree, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's just for aesthetics. People go, oh, look.
It is.
Fucking they're trying to make it look like a palm tree, but we live in the desert.
Well, if you don't actually look at it, you would never notice that it was there. But once you have to see how many of these things they have to put up, they do need to start,
Disguising them as
right,
something.
right. But there's a tree line in between the two towers, and the leaves were turning brown.
Get the fuck out.
So what they did was just cut down the tree so you couldn't see it.
Well, 5G is good for the environment. You didn't know that?
Right. Yeah.
Because of all the... Now, it does sound like a good idea. Well, I don't want to get into it right now.
Yeah.
Because I want more...
That's a preview. So
It's a preview.
Preview. Yeah, anything else you wanted to say?
No. I think overall we should just be paying attention to anything that goes on with the environment right now. We need to be paying attention to what the authority tells us is going on, and just think with your own head and look at the evidence. And all the evidence when it comes to the environment and stuff like that points to them using the natural cycle of the planet, lying and using it to control the entire population of the earth, and telling you can't make tires. Saudi Arabia is going to make tires. You know, they're going to deindustrialize America, and it's going to fucking suck. And they'll do it generationally. Like, this is something that my kids are going to be dealing with, but it won't be so alien to them, but it'll be completely alien to me. And then things, as they get older, that they go, I wasn't like that when I was a kid. I don't like that. Their kids, it's going to be normal to them. So they'll do it incrementally, and before you know it, in the next 100 years, they'll have everybody living in a mega city, and you won't be able to fucking leave it. And all of the other land that they want to protect will be all mining operations, and probably by fucking robots. The robots will be like, fuck you, you're living in this city. I need gold to build more of my brothers and sisters. So I'm going to fucking rip up Tonto National Forest and get the fucking gold out of the ground. And if you try to come out of that city, we're going to fucking toast you. It's almost what Elon Musk said.
Yeah, he's afraid of AI.
He didn't say that. But I'm taking it to the extreme. So just watch out. You mark my words.
Mark them.
Oh, and the prediction that we made, the Clinton Foundation will go to the Amazon to bring aid.
Yeah. Watch.
Fucking
If they're
watch.
allowed. We don't even. I guess
They're allowed.
We'll kind of keep.
They do whatever
you
they
up to
want.
date, but
they got so much damn money. They just whip out that checkbook.
all right. Well, from Robbie and Ron.
Be advised.
Be advised, everybody. Be advised.
Thank you for watching.